Three things land this week that matter more than most of what we've heard in August thus far: an inflation report, an earnings report, and a speech. Hi, I'm Jamie French, managing partner with Advent Partners, and I'm recording this on Wednesday morning. So two of the three things that I'm going to talk about are actually happening today. Depending on when you're watching this, you may have already seen some of the results. If we see a surprise headline or an unexpected result, that doesn't really change our read on things. So before I get into the three things that I want to talk about, let's do a quick recap on last week. Stocks finished lower last week. It was the first down week since late July. And it wasn't due to corporate earnings, but to borrowing costs, the impact on bond yields, oil prices. And my business partner, Jim, covered this a little bit in last week's video, so you can check that out to get some more context there. The reason that's important is all of those items can push on inflation, and inflation is becoming the hot topic, and it's related to each of the three items I'm going to be talking about today. So let's get into them. The first one, as I mentioned, is an inflation report. This morning, the Bureau of Economic Analysis is releasing the PCE, or the Personal Consumption Expenditures Report. It's a measure of how Americans are spending their money on goods and services, and it's widely considered the primary measure the Fed looks at for inflation purposes. Now, the Fed is meeting in September, and so a hot inflation report could certainly increase the likelihood that the Fed is going to raise rates. And the market probably wouldn't like that. So that's something that we're going to be paying attention to. The second item today is after market close, Nvidia is going to be reporting their quarterly earnings. Nvidia is the company that makes the chips that power artificial intelligence, which is a big driver of the technology sector and a big factor in the S&P 500 index overall. So even one large player like Nvidia reporting their quarterly earnings can move that index. That's just kind of a reality of how that functions today. So that's another important one today. And then lastly, on Friday, new Fed Chair Kevin Warsh is speaking at the Fed's annual conference in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. This is the first time that he is speaking at that event. It's also his last extended comments before the Fed meets in September. Now, the Kansas City Fed, which hosts the event, they set a theme each year, and this year the theme is financial innovation in payments, which is how money moves between business and banks and people as technology changes. So interest rates aren't really on the agenda. We don't know how much we'll hear, but the market will be paying attention to that. So that's the three items for this week. Next week, the Labor Department releases the August jobs report. So within a span of about 10 days, that's a lot of information coming out. Don't be surprised to see some market reaction to that. And remember to keep your view on the long term. If you're struggling with that, or if you're uncomfortable, or if something's changing in your situation, it might be time for a chat. You can reach out to us anytime. And thanks for watching.